The U.S. Soccer Podcast is presented by Henkel. From pre-game rituals to everyday routines, Henkel helps families prepare for the moments that matter. Because winning starts at home. With Henkel's family of brands, including Persil, laundry detergent, Got2b hairstyling products, Dial soap, and Loctite adhesives. Hello and welcome to the U.S. Soccer Podcast. My name is David Goss, and this is the show where every week we bring you in-depth interviews with U.S. soccer stars of the past, present, and future. Speaking of stars, I am joined by two of the biggest, the two legends and my favorite two people in U.S. soccer, two icons of the game, Meghan Klingenberg and Alejandro Bedoya. But you guys, before I welcome you in and thank you, I was told by our producer that we have some themed names for you because it is the holiday season. So now you are Klingelbell Rock and Alejandro Bedoya. How do we feel about that?
How I feel about it is that I will be drinking this mulled wine throughout the episode. That's how I'm feeling about it. It feels nice.
And I can't even say it another time, so I'm just going to call you Ale because it still works in this. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I just feel like I was going back to church in my youth days. Hallelujah.
Were you in the first pew? Were you in the first pew? I feel like you were first pew guy.
Oh, my parents always made sure to sit in the front, so unfortunately, yeah.
Were you ever in a choir?
I was a part of a choir for a few weeks, yes.
Love that. I could tell from the way you hit that high note that you're a well-trained
No
voice.
way. No, that's just singing along with my daughter these days.
All K-pop demon whatever that thing is called?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were going to sing again. I felt like I had opened the door.
No, I'm not going there. No chance.
Well, Kling had written down a nickname for me too, but because I'm reading, I don't have to say it, so I'm going to leave that one out. But welcome to our holiday show. Kling's already got the drink going. Ale, towards the end of the year, how you feeling? You ready to go?
I'm ready to hit the holidays. You know, it's been a very white Christmas feel here in Philadelphia. Just in the Northeast, you know, we had a big snowstorm this weekend. Well, I don't know if you can call it a big snowstorm. You know, I'm married to a Norwegian woman, so like when we had a 2-hour delay at school this morning, which is just ridiculous, and my wife just absolutely can't stand it. She's like, "You guys always make big drama out of everything here." You know, in Norway they just put on their cross country skis and off they go. You know, yeah, right.
Sounds right.
But it's I feel it. You know, I grew up in South Florida. Really, I was born in North Jersey. So to have the weather, to have snow on the ground, right? That's when you really start to feel it's Christmas season and a real feel of the holiday season. So I'm stoked, even though I'm going to be in the tropical weather for Christmas and down in Colombia visiting my family. But up here in Philly, I'm enjoying the white that you see on the ground.
Kling, did you miss your invite for the Columbia trip? I feel like Ale sent mine to the wrong email.
It must have got lost in the mail with our Christmas sweaters. Just for some background. For some background. We were all supposed to have U.S. Soccer Christmas sweaters, but as Alleluia has stated,
unreal.
The Grinch clearly stole them, and we think our producer Matt now has 3 at his home. Because as you can tell, none of us have Christmas sweaters except for Ale. You are looking snazzy, sir. Tell us what the get-up is.
Kling, like you alluded to, I was hoping to receive that Christmas sweater. It didn't come in time, and the one that I had was not appropriate. So I just put on some, nice holiday festive button-down, and I picked up this Norwegian Christmas wool sweater from my wife. And it's
an unreal sweater. I feel
like you're going to be sweating by the end.
Yeah.
I will.
Well, he needs to stay in shape for the season. I was told to bring something festive to wear. I don't own anything festive. I'm wearing a U.S. national team pride shirt, but I brought the only thing festive I own, which is this fake Christmas tree with ornaments from New York City and now a new one from Coral Gables, Florida. And then look on the top, Kling.
Yes, Star of David.
There you go. So that was your opportunity and your opening to say it. My mother-in-law, I think, gave that one to me most recently. So that is my festivity, and we have a big show for you. We're going to be looking back on our favorite soccer moments from 2025. We'll be shining the spotlight on the players who we think led the way for our U.S. national teams. And of course, we're going to be sharing our hot takes on all Christmas food and, crucially, whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Quick answer? All right, never mind. We'll go to the next segment, and then you'll get to find out. The countdown to 2026 is on, and every moment matters. Whether you're at home or on the pitch, preparation is everything. From clean kits to fresh confidence and bold style, Henkel's family of brands is there, behind every routine that keeps life running smoothly. Because great performances don't just happen on the pitch, they start at home. Brought to you by Henkel and its family of brands, including Persil laundry detergent, Got2b hair care products, Dial soap, and Loctite adhesives. Proud partners of U.S. Soccer. Well, you've got the Oscars, the Grammys, and of course, in our sport, the Ballon d'Or. But something new to add to the list, something for every athlete to aspire to, is the U.S. Soccer Podcast End of the Year Honors List, a.k.a. the USWNT, which I believe, Ale, is that the town your wife is from? We tried to make it into an acronym, and that's the closest I could get. I hate staring down a name I cannot pronounce on a sheet and not knowing what to do. So therefore, we are going to call this the USWNT. So we're going to do this to showcase U.S. soccer players who we thought were fantastic in 2025. Ale, would you like to start?
How many eggnogs have you had already?
I don't know that I could stomach one, but if I did, this is where I'd be at.
Yeah. Well, let's. I mean, when we look back at over the course of, I guess, the year with U.S. soccer, with U.S. men's team, I'll be talking about the U.S. men's national team player of the year. I think it started a little bit, antsy. Fan base was a little bit anxious in the way the team was playing, whether Pochettino was maybe the right hire or not. And I think over the course of the year, the national team showed, I think, what fans were looking for, and definitely what Pochettino was looking for in terms of getting the guys on the same page, understanding what it really means to represent, our country and play with pride. But I think two players that I think over the course of this season that played at a very high, I would say, consistent level, for me, are between these two guys, Matt Freese and Chris Richards. And so those, I'm a little bit torn about which one of those should win it. Matt, I know him personally, having played here in Philly with the Union and, over with the other team up north here, New York City. But I think he's had a fantastic season for the national team. He's solidified himself as maybe the starting goalkeeper now moving forward for the national team. He had a great Gold Cup that helped him win it. But you can say the same thing about Chris Richards. And I think of both of these guys in terms of their national team form and their club form has been fantastic. And Chris Richards has really cemented himself, solidified himself as a leader now within the team. And the guy that's going to be there holding it down in the back. So it's between those two. I'm torn, so I can't decide between those two. But if I had to give it a go, I think I'd go for Chris Richards because I think he's going to really take a leadership role there in the back line.
One of the things I think for a lot of people seeing his development and the way he's solidified that spot is how important it is to a team to have a center back that you can truly rely on. You've played with some greats, national team, club across the world. What is the feeling that it gives you in a team when you know you have sort of that leader and that guy who's always going to perform right at the heart of the defense?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic because as a goalie, right, he's your first line of defense in a way. Because now, whether you play in a back three, back five, however you want to call it, Chris Richards is going to be the anchor there, and he's going to be the one that's going to be communicating right, left, step, in terms of stepping up the line or dropping. And he just has a presence back there, able to win aerial duels, comfortable on the ball, playing the ball forward, progressing it between lines. And let's not forget, offensively, he's a danger on set pieces, to get on the end of things. So he can score and do that for our team. So I think, no doubt, I've seen a lot of quality both defensively and offensively, but more so, I think importantly, is like with Tim Ream, maybe not sure if he's going to be a starter anymore. You're going to need a leader back there in the back line, and I think Chris Richards is the guy.
Kling, we started this whole show talking to Becky Sauerbrunn, maybe the greatest center back of all time, as a leader from that position. What did she do as a teammate? What does it do for you, especially someone who plays on the back line, to have a rock-solid player in that spot?
One of the things that people don't understand about center back is that physically, it's probably one of the easiest positions on the field. You're not doing as much running, you're not doing as much work as other positions, as much movement. But from like a technical, tactical standpoint, and using your communication, it's the most important position on the field because you're literally directing the entire midfield line, your outside backs, and you're just basically moving everything in terms of how to set up in your block for defending. And Becky was one of the best in the game at that. So, along with being just rock solid on defense, going forward, Chris, is a threat in the air, in the box, on set pieces. But now, as he's been playing more and more throughout this year for the national team, you see him starting to use his voice more, organize, and move the team. And honestly, that's one of the biggest like things for center backs is being able to move the team the way that you need them to move so you can shut things down before it happens. And last thing, just congratulations to Chris on his first USBL award.
We have to reach out to a composer. We probably need a custom song made because of the gravity of the moment. And I look forward to making the trophy for everyone out of used gelt, which, if you don't know, are chocolate coins that we play dreidel with. So you have chocolate coins in little fake gold wrappings.
Yeah.
So I'll take all the fake gold wrappings and I'll form them into a special trophy. And Chris
Incredible.
Richards, just check your mail sometime soon because it's going to be there for you. And you don't want to let that one sit on the front stoop for too long because someone could come up and swoop it. Kling.
It'll probably be there before the sweaters get here.
It will
So.
probably be there before. Or it'll be, at Matt's place somewhere as well. Somehow he'll be able to swoop that one up. Kling, let's go to you next.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to present the first annual USBL to Kat Macario.
Nice.
I really love Kat's story this year because she really was coming into the team at the beginning of the year, coming back off of injury. We were kind of unclear what her position was within the group. We know she has so much potential. We know she's a great player. But when you have that much time away, it's like, what are you going to be like when you come back? What are you going to look like after being out from such a serious injury for such an extended period of time? And not only did she come back from that and look great, I think she's looked like possibly the best player on the national team this year. She's been certainly the most consistent. She's scoring goals. She's assisting goals. She's just an absolute terror up top. And she's still so young. There's just so much growth potential there. I really am excited to see where she's going to be in 2 years, in 3 years, when the next World Cup comes around and we get to see her in a more high pressure situation. We get to see her on this world stage. It's going to be really fun.
One of the things with Kat Macario, obviously the injury is so brutal. Every time it felt like she was getting into her peak and we we're going to see her at her best, she got hurt. But the other thing is it feels like a lot of her role on this team is centrally drawing attention so the players out wide can get space to do what they do best, which means we don't always get to see the flash of Kat Macario. She's a finisher. She's doing the right thing. She's helping the team. But in those two Italy games, you got to see, if someone makes a mistake and there's an inch of space for Kat Macario to run into the channel or to run at a defender, like, you are cooked and you better just move on to the next play and assume you're down a goal. And it's really fun to get to see that because that's why we love to watch the game. And she's one of those players that can attract you to those big moments. And as you said, she ended the year stronger than she started. And if she continues on this road, we're talking about another attacking superstar. And we haven't even seen triple espresso this year on this team, which takes me to mine, which was supposed to be a young player, which is absurd because Olivia Moultrie is 20 and not even on this list. Jaden Shaw is 21 and not even on this list. Lily Johannes is 18 years old and not on this list. It is absurd, the young talent that's coming through on the women's national team level. We have them for both young men and young women on this list. So on the women's side, I'm going to go with Jordan Bugg. it's really hard to say like, oh, someone's the next Naomi Girma, and that's not a fair comparison to make. But at 19 years old, Jordan Bugg is a high-level starting center back in NWSL and feels like she has a scalable game that could reach the national team. So on the women's side, I'm going there. On the men's side, there was, of course, some big performances in U17 and U20 World Cups. Benha Kramaski and Brooklyn Raines, two of the stars for the U20 team. I'd say Xavier Gosso and Luca Bombino were equally as strong, but I will go with Brooklyn Raines for what he did both with club and with country to be able to play high-level pro minutes still under the age of 20 and do it with the national team is pretty special. So a big year for them. And now there's a U17 and a U20 World Cup every single year. So we get to do this every year, and it makes it really easy to find these young players that you could vote on for an award for the USWNT, because we've got a tournament that we could come out of every single time. Well, we have done the men's and women's national team. We have done the youth national teams. One of the big set of teams that we've been lucky enough to cover here at the US Soccer Podcast is the extended national teams. We talked to Stuart Sharp a long time ago, it feels like, about all of the breadth of programs that are available, that you can go to the US Soccer website and you can find those teams and you can get involved. There's a cerebral palsy team, there's a Deaf Olympics team, and that is one of the ones we want to celebrate, Kling, because we want to give our ENT award away for the USWNT of 2025.
Absolutely. What a prestigious award. And I'm so happy that we're going to give it to, actually, this is going to be a co-award to the three captains of the deaf women's national team in Kate Ward, Sydney Andrews, and Emily Spreeman. So these three co-captains basically are in charge of the best team that you might not have ever heard of, but that's why we're here. We're shining a spotlight on the deaf women's national team. And if I had to give a comparison, which I don't even think this is a fair comparison, but essentially it is the U.S. women's national team of the 90s. Like, you probably haven't heard of them, but they're kicking ass all over the world, taking names, and they're on a completely different level than everybody else. In fact, they just played in the Deaf Olympics, and they were beating teams like 14-0, 4-0 in the gold medal match. And the thing that is really outrageous about it is that when all the rest of these teams are playing each other, it's like 1-1, 2-0. It's normal scores. But our team is just that much better than everybody else. And it was headed up by Kate Ward, Sydney Andrews, and Emily Spreeman. And they had just announced their retirement after the Deaf Olympics. So they had quite the career. And David, I think you have some more.
Yeah, they're the three
about
caps
just
leaders.
How ridiculous this is.
They're the three caps leaders all time for the national team. So 2005 was the first official competitive match for the U.S. Deaf women's national team. They are 44-1-0 since then. So they've never lost a game. They've won 44, and they've drawn once. Emily Spreeman, who is one of the three captains and the starting center forward, has 50 goals in 30 caps. I don't even know what the rate you want from a player. I think having like half goals, is that right? Like, is that normally a good forward? Equal goals is unbelievable. Almost double is absolutely unheard of. And the three players have led the way over and over again for this team. They've continued to dominate internationally and build up the program and build up the atmosphere and build up the community around it. So the head coach, Amy Griffin, and assistant Troy Fawcett were really complimentary of what these players have brought to the program. And it's really, really special to see. And they went to Japan and they beat Japan in Japan. So like beating the hosts in Tokyo is pretty impressive. And we're excited to continue to see the team move on. And congratulations for an unbelievable career to Ward, Andrews, and Spreeman. On the men's side, they got bronze. So not a bad appearance at a Deaf Olympics. And we were lucky enough to talk to their coach and learn a ton about their team and their group as well. And we're going to continue to tell all these great stories in 2026. But that's it for the most prestigious awards in all of sports. The ESPLs are done. Next year, maybe a big-time host steps in. Maybe it's Peyton Manning. Maybe it's Billy Crystal. Maybe it's Kevin Hart. Who knows? But I will always remember the day that I sat with the two of you and we gave out the most prestigious awards in sports. All right.
Can we get Ispiel cups?
We might have to. We might have to get them shipped, though, which might be the problem. Sticking between us.
I love these callback jokes.
We are back, and it is time for our annual Christmas mailbag. First year of the show, so therefore it becomes a permanent staple going forward. Okay, a few days ago on the US Soccer Instagram page, we asked you, our loyal listeners and viewers, for Christmas-themed questions. Let's see what you wanted us to ask. Kling, the first one is very specific to you. It is from My Ricks My Miles, who wants to know what you are getting your dogs for the holiday.
Oh, such a good question. But it should be more, what aren't I getting my dogs for Christmas? Because they are little fluffy angels and they deserve the world. I've already shopped for them, so I got the standard treats that they love and everything like that. So Sesame and Tato are my Poms. Sesame is like 5 years old, and he's like fresh and he doesn't have like any health issues. Tato's doing great. He's our senior Pom. He's 13, but he has alopecia, and he had to have all of his teeth out because he was a rescue, and so he like came to us with like not very great dental health. Anyways, getting stuff for him is like a little bit more
custom?
Interesting. Yeah, exactly. So I got him a new sweater. So I've been calling him Tay Crew because he looks like a little doggy J. Crew model. And I also got him Parmesan cheese because he's like absolutely obsessed, because as we know, all dogs like the cheese tax. And so for him, we just shred up some Parmesan cheese and he's in absolute heaven. So those are his snacks. That's what they're getting.
Wow.
Yeah.
It seems like a nice life. I think all of us would be so lucky.
Yeah, I mean, they're basically Brooklyn celebrities. They walk around the park and people are like, oh my God, there's, the Poms. And they need to be treated as such.
I love that. All right. Great question. Thank you. Now we've got a question from Abraham Lincoln FR. I think that's
For
what
real.
the name is. And the question
Abraham
is,
Lincoln, for real.
what's on your own wish list for the holidays? Ollie, let's start with you.
I'm boring, like I don't know. I got my kids to put a wish list together for them, just caught up in shopping for them. But like, look, we're blessed. We have everything I ever need, right? So like for me, it's just maybe upgrade something around the TVs, some nice surround sound system, or even a new TV perhaps. I don't know.
What about a sauna?
A sauna, yeah, I know. It's hard to come by living in the city. I don't have space for it in here in Center City. But one day for sure, I'm going to have that whole setup, a little cold plunge with a sauna right next to it, and, do the hot, cold stuff, contrast. I love that. But for now, just keep it. I'm basic, man. So just something techie, something around a nice TV. And, I love watching sports and yeah, so.
Sounds like me and David will be visiting when you get that sauna.
You're more than welcome.
Listen, I'll visit for the viewing parties. So I can watch sports too. I'm equal opportunity saunas or watching sports. Kling, you have anything on the top of your list?
Yeah, so I've gotten really into video games since I stopped playing. And I have been crushing games this year. I've played Zelda, Breath of the Wild. I played Disney Dreamlight Valley. I'm currently playing Grand Bazaar. So I'm like into cozy gaming. And then I'm also into, Hogwarts Legacy. So I'm into like the cozy gaming, the magic games, the exploration kind of fighting games.
You like to like explore and live a life and go see a world type thing?
Yes, absolutely.
Are you into like VR stuff?
I've never done that, so I don't know. But I don't think so. I'd rather get more off the phone and like go out and live my life in the world than be more on tech. You know what I mean? Because
but
I
the
do
tech's
think
gonna
there
take
are,
you into another world.
Well, yeah, exactly. I think obviously there's some really great uses for it, but I just don't want to use it as like my entertainment. Meanwhile, I'm talking about I want to get a Switch 2 for Christmas. But I feel like that's like easier to put down and cruise around. And anyways, I love it. Hopefully Santa is bringing that. Fingers are crossed. It's been on my list for months, and I feel like a kid for the first time in a long time, being like, maybe I'll get it, maybe I won't. And so yeah, I'm just really excited to see what December 25th brings.
Or you're more than welcome to play those games on my new state of the art surround sound and new TV system I'm gonna have.
Incredible. Some of
Man.
these games have quite good soundtracks. So
Ollie's building the ultimate hangout situation. Okay. I'm fascinated by how all of this works, by the way, because I've never had a wish
Are you
list
not
like-
answering what's on your wish list?
Well, it sounded like I was the host, so I didn't know that I had to. On my wish list. Well, normally I'd say a vacation, but I am lucky enough. We are going to Mexico next week, so I'm very excited. We're going to San Miguel de Allende, and I'm going to eat my body weight in food, so I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I've been told I should play Football Manager, speaking of video games. I've never played it, so maybe if someone wants to get me that, I would take it. Does that count?
Yeah, that counts. I will say you had tried to count in Spanish earlier when we were not recording on this podcast, and it was an absolute disaster, and Alleluia can back me up on that. And I wanted to tell you that I feel like you should practice before you go to Mexico, because like you might end up with 14 beers instead of 4.
Which,
Although that might not be that bad,
yeah,
but I'm
not really
saying
mad about that. I'm not good
mean-
with numbers. That's fine. Yo aprendo español ahora. So I'm trying. That's why I'm going to Mexico, so I can practice again. Speaking of, we had our next question here from Heron Josh, who said, favorite holiday dish, whether it's a family tradition or something you just love to have. And Ala, you were first on the sheet.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with family traditions. You know, I'm a son of Colombian parents, Colombian American, so I'm used to having those Colombian Christmas dishes, if you will. You know, this a buñuelo. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of
Cheese
buñuelo.
bread?
But yes, it's like a fried cheese fritters kind
Yeah.
of cheese
Ooh,
bread. Yeah,
yum.
they're so good. So always have them around Christmas time.
Kling, I normally order Uno when I'm in the store, so I'm just letting you know I'm okay with that one.
okay, good. We're making progress here.
Yeah, definitely. And then a big tradition in Colombia, in Colombian households, is this dessert called natilla. I don't know if you know what natilla is, but it's like it's like a sweet custard almost. They top it with Nutella, but it's or cinnamon, but it's like a whole process. And at my house, you know, whether it was my uncle or grandfather or whoever, another family member, or even my father, they take turns. But it's the way that it's formed, right, to make it the natilla, and it's probably takes, I think it takes like 4 hours or so, but they're just mixing it until it gets to like a certain kind of solidified but soft texture base. And it's just so good, and it's done
Is
by...
it like an ice cream, a flan? Like, what are we talking
No,
about? in this
yeah, so
whole
it looks,
ridge?
it's more similar to a flan. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Like a sweet custard, kind of that soft kind of texture in a way, but it's sprinkled with a little cinnamon on top. And yeah, you cut it as dessert, and it's just an amazing experience. So it's something that, like, while they're, you know, kind of mixing it around, it's something that you have conversations around and all this. So it's very traditional.
Nice.
That sounds so nice.
Do you get to eat the full bandejo paisa when you do?
Bandeja
Is that-
paisa, no. Yeah, no. I eat
That thing
during
is
the
a
year.
bomb of food. In
That's
your
an
body.
awesome dish, but that's not I guess the Colombian dish, so to speak. I think more of like I don't know, I think tamales or maybe sancocho, like a soup.
That sounds amazing. Kling, what about you?
So my family, typically what we do on Christmas Day is I'm always up first because that's just who I am. And I wait.
4:45. Kling's on a 6-mile
exactly.
run.
Yeah, I'm waiting impatiently downstairs. And then when people start hitting like 8:30, I start making noise, you know, that's louder than normal. And then about 9, it's like I'm not waiting any longer, and I'll send the dog in and just have her jump on my brother and whoever else. And then we open presents. But my favorite part is after we do the presents, my mom makes this incredible Christmas brunch, and that is the
Love that.
focus of what we eat on Christmas. We don't really care. Like, I don't even know what we eat for Christmas dinner. I think it might be different every year. But for Christmas brunch, we're having like French toast casserole. We're having homemade frittatas. My mom makes like homemade bacon and puts it in the oven and brings it out. And then, she helps do like a few vegan things for me as well, so I can like enjoy. We have a fruit salad, and then everybody just kind of sits down and enjoys each other's company, has coffee, has orange juice, and it's just a really nice way to bring everybody together and not have it be like this whole dinner. It's around 11 or noon, and it's just a nice time for all of us to sit down in our PJs and enjoy some good food.
Are cinnamon rolls a part of this?
Well, no, because we do French toast casserole. It's very similar.
Oh, French toast casserole sounds good.
It's insanely good. Yeah. It's like you take all of these like really nice, like you get it from the bakery sort of bread, you cut it up, then you put the spices and the milk and the butter, you put it in a casserole dish and you bake it, and it comes out, woo, real nice.
That sounds amazing.
Woo!
I have a restaurant for you, Kling, when you come to Miami, because we had something like that. They literally called it French toast bread pudding on the menu. Okay, for me, it's obvious latkes. I like fried potatoes. My dad makes the best. He's meticulous about the way you get the starch out and then the way you bring the starch back in so it doesn't break up. It stays crispy, but you get the flavor in with it as well. And I like sour cream and applesauce with it. I don't like one or the other. I like both. It becomes like sweet and creamy and all that stuff. And obviously Chinese food on Christmas Day when you go watch a movie, which is the greatest tradition my family has, which takes us to our last question, which is from bstock07, who says top 3 favorite Christmas movies for the two of you. Kling?
Oh, easy. Okay. So mine would be one, Just Friends. I don't know if have you guys seen that?
Unreal movie. Great movie. Ryan Reynolds' best movie, I would argue.
I agree. Yeah. Fully agree. So I feel like Anna Faris really carries that movie because she's just that funny in it. Truly, truly cracks me up. And some people might say it's not specifically a Christmas movie, but it happens in Christmas. It's Christmas coded. I say Christmas movie. Secondly, Love Actually. I just love how all of the storylines weave together by the end, and I just really appreciate like seeing a bunch of different storylines come together in heartwarming moments. Like, come on, who doesn't love that? And then finally, I'm really into Spirited, which this is a new one for me. Have you guys seen Spirited?
I've seen it advertised. It seems like it's a sing-along, sort of.
100%. Yeah.
That's all I kind of know.
It's Ryan Reynolds. Again, Ryan Reynolds, who knew he was
doing work.
King of Christmas. Talk about a dark horse entry. But him and Will Ferrell, who probably actually is the king of Christmas movies, but they're essentially like, going through the age-old story of Ebenezer Scrooge, Christmas Carol, and it's a whole musical, and it's kind of rethought, reworked out, and it's really fun, and I never thought that I would like it that much, but I actually really do. It was great.
I love it. I'm sold. Ale, do you have anything to
you
add?
mentioned Spirited as a dark horse. I thought you were talking about, isn't Spirit a movie about a horse?
Yes, it is a movie.
I got really confused because I haven't seen it. Yeah. I got really confused for a second, hilarious. But I'm going to have to agree on one of the movies, actually. I think, or you had previously mentioned it maybe, when we were talking off air, was The Holiday.
That's my mom's favorite.
Great
movie. Yeah, it's, that's getting my feelings a little bit there, but I think it's a movie that whenever we go abroad back to Norway to my wife's family's house, we watch it probably 4 to 5 times during those 2 to 3 weeks that we're there in my off season. So they love it, and of course, it's a great movie. So if you haven't seen it, I encourage you to watch it.
Must watch.
And then, like, I'm a father, so we watch a lot of the family, the classics. So here in our household, I'm always putting on Home Alone, Elf, and my kids love the Polar Express. My son loves, planes, trains, cars, and that train, the Polar Express, is a classic. And we always try to make it a point to wherever we go, travel during the off season. There's always one kind of railroad expressway that turns into like this Christmas theme, and we try to do that.
Incredible. That's so
Elf
cute.
is the greatest movie. It's the greatest Christmas movie, hands down. So good job, Ollie. You won the game.
Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? And O'Reilly Auto Parts is right around the corner. O'Reilly Auto Parts can help take the guesswork out of your vehicle's check engine, ABS, or maintenance light with O'Reilly Veriscan, a free service that only takes a couple of minutes to complete. You'll receive a free, easy-to-read report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans that have been verified by ASE-certified master technicians. O'Reilly Veriscan can identify the most likely problem with just one scan. The professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts can then recommend the parts and tools you need to do the repair right the first time. And if you're not comfortable doing the repair yourself, they can recommend a local shop for you. Don't ignore check engine, ABS, or maintenance light. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today, a free service exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Well, we are into our favorite segment of every show. And if you haven't heard it before, it might be because a lot of times we put it on our Insider Special. So if you're not, become a U.S. Soccer Insider. It could be the best gift you could give this holiday season, either to a friend, family, or to yourself. But what we do here is we have red card or play on. So I will give a prompt to the two of you, and you will say red card, this is no good, or play on if you like it. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Kling, red card, or play on?
I'm going to give it a play on because even though it's an action film filled with violence, the core of it is about a husband trying to get back with his wife and fix their marriage. And in my mind, what is more Christmas than that? Trying to rebuild and repair relationships around the holiday.
As they say in Love Actually, it's the time you're supposed to tell the truth. Ale?
I'm going to go with red card. And I was having this discussion with my friends in my group chat. But I think, obviously they use Christmas as the holiday for the reason the company comes to the building and all that. But yeah, I don't think it's a Christmas movie. It's an action thriller. It's a movie that you can put on any other day of the whole rest of the year, right? Like Christmas is for warmth and more cozier. I don't rate it as a Christmas movie.
Boom. I'm with Ale. Red card as well. All right, next one. Matching holiday PJs for the Christmas cards. Ale?
Okay, I mean, I have strong opinions on this one. I feel like it's a hardcore red card because it was cute. It was cute, but it is played out. Like, let's figure out a new thing that all of us can do on our Christmas cards. I just feel like it's been used. I've seen it. We've all seen it. It's not original anymore. Let's think up something cozy and original, okay?
Kling's thinking the family card has to be groundbreaking. If you're not pushing the barriers, what are you doing as a family? Ollie, please tell me that you have a matching pajama family card that you sent out this year.
No, I'm also a huge red card right there. It's like, why holiday pajamas? I mean, that's something you wake up with the family on a cozy Christmas day. Like, keep it to yourself.
Ollie is
I don't want to
cozy
see
right
on a
now.
Christmas card being your pajamas. It's the same argument, I think, like with us Americans when we travel, we go through the airports. People dress in their pajamas traveling in airplanes. Come on.
That would be me.
Well, Kling, you're part of the problem then. I'm going to go red card as well. And let me close out on this one. I think it's offensive we're even asking this question because it's not even a question. Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas, best holiday song of all time.
Play on forever. And
Play
I
on
mean
all
that
day.
literally. Play it forever. Play on forever. Mariah.
She's
you
the goat,
literally
Christmas
have
goat.
Yeah, she's the Christmas goat. 100%.
All right. I agree, of course, as the way I set it up. Let's finish out on our favorite segment of every show, which is Ask the Pros, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. This is where you can ask a question for myself, Kling, or for Ale, and we'll get back to you and answer it. Let's start with Kling here with Kristen in Cyprus, who says, you've played through multiple eras of the U.S. women's national team. What's something U.S. soccer got right early that it needs to recommit to now? To be clear, I don't know if that's Cyprus the country or Cyprus like a place in America. But if so, shout out to Kristen in Cyprus for listening to the show.
I was 100% thinking the same thing. And I have been to Cyprus, and it is quite a lovely little country. Have you been there?
I have not. I've been to Greece, so I've been nearby, but I have not been there.
Bummer. Well, I have, and it's lovely. Something, like I said, something to aspire to, David. Anyways.
I actually, speaking of Cyprus, just because you bring it up, I had to go there actually for unusual circumstances because we were playing against Ukraine.
I remember
the national
this.
team. And because, the war and everything, the situation going on there, our game was actually
But it was
held
a
in Cyprus.
different war, right? Like, this wasn't recent. It was like 20...
No, this was before this current situation, yeah.
Yeah. There you go,
So,
Kling.
sorry, I digress, but go ahead. That's Cyprus for
Yeah,
you.
no, that's good.
It
That's
is
good.
beautiful.
It is a great place. I think that something that U.S. soccer got right early is that believing that women's soccer was important. And because of that, they, helped create one of the best teams in the history of existence. And I feel like we need to continue staying ahead of the curve with investment, with resources, with making sure all of our players are getting what they need to be the very best that they possibly can be. And so I just ask that U.S. soccer continues to not just be ahead of the game, but like set the precedent for everybody else to catch up, set the precedent for everybody else to be like, we need to have this level of investment and commitment if we're ever going to compete with the United States on an international stage. That's what I think we got to keep getting right.
All right. And then Ale, we finish off with you, Charlie in LA, who will be hosting 2 of the U.S. men's national team World Cup games coming up. With the U.S. hosting the 2026 World Cup, what should U.S. soccer prioritize to make the most of the opportunity?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'll take it from 2 different angles. Right? I'll talk about like what the team should do, and then what the U.S. soccer as a whole, the federation, should do. But I think as a team, look, they got a very favorable draw. I mean, I remember being there in D.C. when I saw the names come out and the group, and I was like, wow, they could not have gotten a better draw. Now, of course, every game at the World Cup is a difficult one, but the expectation should be for them to win the group, advance to the next stage, and I think they could, have a good shot of making it to the quarterfinals, right? And then it becomes subjective of what you think is a successful World Cup. But obviously, have in a World Cup on home soil is huge. You're going to have a lot of eyes and Americans tuning in, so it's very important for the team to make the most out of it and seize the moment, and at the very least win the group, advance to the next stage, and then I would think at least get to the quarterfinals. If they get to the quarterfinals, I think that could be deemed a success, and anything after that, would be extra icing on the cake. But I think from a U.S. Soccer Federation standpoint, I think, how can they channel this opportunity, this World Cup on home soil on the men's side, to really galvanize the whole country, and we speak about this, about like how 94 was such a great impact. It had an impact on players like Kling and myself, I'm sure, and the women thereafter. But yeah, how does soccer in this country become not just a niche sport, but like a default sport, like one of the ones that is now covered on mainstream channels, and not just something that we're talking about every 4 years, saying, oh, this is going to be the moment where we reach an inflection point. So a lot of aggressive marketing. I'm sure they're going to, harness what Pochettino's been talking about, that our team really is representative of our country and what U.S. is all about because of our style of play. And I think hopefully people love that about this team. And then I think they're on the right track with everything else. I think when we talk about infrastructure and pathways for both women and men, what's going on in Atlanta, the training center that they're building out there, I think is going to be amazing for everybody that's going to have the access to play there, and the opportunity to, for the women and the men to maybe be there at the same time, and all these girls and boys training there. It's providing a pathway of what it looks like to be a top national team in global standards. So just harnessing all that and hopefully we'll be not just a niche sport here in our country, but also even more respected across the globe.
It is going to be a big year coming up, and we are excited to cover it all here at the US Soccer Podcast. And if you want to ask Kling and Ale about these things, you can ask the pros as well. Drop our partners at Westwood One a DM on Instagram at Westwood One Sports. Thank you, Kling. Thank you, Ale. Thank you to all of you for listening. No show next week because we are off. We're taking a short break, but we will see you all in 2026. Take care of yourselves. Happy holidays, and thank you to all of you for being here and being a part of this community that we are building. Don't forget to follow us wherever you get your podcast, subscribe on YouTube, and you never miss an episode, and we'll see you in 2026.
Happy holidays.
Yes, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. That's another top song, by the way, by NSYNC.
That was the song I was trying to think. That's one where it goes, Merry Christmas and Happy
Holidays.
Holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah.